All right, Alyssa, thank you. A follow-up now to President Trump's historic visit to Bakersfield. While the president was widely praised by local growers yesterday for his efforts at the federal level to bring more water from the Sacramento Delta to the Central Valley, it's far from a done deal. In fact, the real-world benefits from the president's action Wednesday may be marginal for growers here in Kern County.
America's a nation built by farmers.
And the farmers who witnessed Donald Trump sign a presidential memorandum and a record of decision at Meadowsfield Wednesday say the biggest takeaway is that finally something has been done at the federal level to improve water deliveries from Northern California to the San Joaquin Valley.
You know, for years we've been trying to figure out how to get traction on biological good science.
It's just science needs to govern it.
With his signature, President Trump finalized a set of federal biological opinions intended to bring more flexibility for operators of state and federal water projects which transport water from Northern California to the valley. Instead of restricting pumping from the Delta based on calendar dates to protect endangered fish species there, operators would use real-time scientific observations to determine where the fish are in relation to the pumps. But the president's action only pertains to the federal pumps, which feed the Central Valley Project. And here in Kern County, there are only 3 water districts with federal contracts, shown in pink on this map, while there are 14 water districts with state contracts, shown in blue. So, unless the state agrees to abide by the new biological opinions approved by the Interior Department, the benefit to growers in Kern from Mr. Trump's action on Wednesday could be marginal.
That's exactly right. The state has got the biological opinions form the basis for the state's permits. So with those, when the state buys in, it will increase the water supply because that dictates the operations.
And that's a critical aspect. We need to have the state participate in these new rulings and new buy-offs. But having the feds, which was the harder side of it, over the years, they've been the harder ones to sort of convince to change. Having them go forward on it first, that gives the state cover to say, okay, well, look, maybe we should really look deeper into this.
By using real-time monitoring, federal officials say endangered fish populations will be better protected than by using simply a calendar-based approach to turning the Delta pumps on and off.
California's outperforming.
Governor Gavin Newsom, meantime, hasn't rejected the administration's plan out of hand, but is under intense pressure from environmental groups and the salmon fishing industry to do just that.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. We have put more and more water out to the ocean, and it hasn't helped. So it's time to take a look at the science that's currently out there and the new science that has been done and reorientate these projects.
Environmental groups, along with the salmon fishing industry here in California, say the president's action yesterday was nothing short of a shady water deal that will hurt Californians who are facing severe water shortages.